Welcome back to another God's Corner series. All right, we are back. Welcome back on this Wednesday or whatever day you're watching, honestly. But welcome back. 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 We are going to be in Matthew 14. Okay, Matthew 14 in a popular section with the 2 fish and the 5 loaves. Okay. So God's math is different than ours because 5 loaves plus 2 fish equal. God's math is different, y'all. Okay, it just is. It just is what it is. So that's the math that we're going to be talking about today. And the conclusions that the Lord has brought me to when I was in my studies. Okay. So if you could just open your Bibles to Matthew 14, we're going to be focusing on verses 15 through 18. The disciples in verse 15 went to Jesus to tell him to send the people away. Okay. They told him, like, send the people away because it was late and there was no food around. Now, there's something I want to point out before I continue. Now, mind you, Jesus is God, and they're telling him to send people away. Jesus is God manifested in flesh and bone, okay? And he does not take orders, okay? He's God. He gives them. Now, this is key. Now, in verse 16, very much in God's personality, which is why I pointed that out prior. In verse 16, very much in God's personality, Jesus, very much like the Father, responded, they don't need to go away. You give them food to eat. Which, honestly, that would have me stumped. Because I've been like, where? Like, there ain't no food out here. We just said that, Jesus. There ain't no food. Do you see these morsels that we have? These little measly morsels that we have? 2 fish, 5 loaves. Like, there's like 5,000 plus people here, okay? Like the Bible specifically says in verse 21, it says there were about 5,000 men who ate, as well as women and children. So implying that there was actually over 5,000, that they only counted 5,000 men, not counting the women and children. So there were over 5,000 people. And they were looking at these two little pieces of fish and 5 loaves. I've been like, we all get a crumb, Jesus. I don't, what was supposed to do? Eat grass? If there was grass. Worst salad ever. I mean, literally. And, but Jesus still responded, they don't need to go away. You give them food to eat, okay? Now, isn't it just like God to shut down your plans that seem very, very logical? It's logical because like they were taking a look at everything that they had and they're like, you got to send these people away. It's late outside and there ain't no food. You got to send them back. But Jesus is all like, nah, fam, I got this. Like, you feed them, bro. He didn't even say he got it. He literally said, you feed them. And they're like, us? You know? So sometimes God will shut down a very logical assumption or a very logical solution that we have come up on our own and provide a solution that seems impossible and highly illogical. And I'm knowing that you guys have your own things. I know for a fact that y'all are probably thinking about all these different scenarios that the Lord has asked you to do something in a way that didn't make any sense. It seemed impossible. It seemed illogical that you started questioning if it is actually God speaking to you. Because it seems like sabotage. You're like, God, like, you're sabotaging these people. Like, there's 5,000 people. We got 2 loaves. Or 5 loaves and 2 fish. Like, and I'm sure if Jesus was not in the flesh, they'd be questioning, like, is this Jesus? Is this God that's talking to me right now? Because that doesn't make no sense. Okay. But sometimes that's what he does. Now, mind you, they forgot who God was. They forgot who Jesus is, and they forgot how Jesus is and what he is capable of. These are men who saw all the miracles that Jesus has done up to this point, like the healing miracles. They saw all these things and they got to hear his great wisdom, and they still were just like, stumped, dumbfounded, stuck, because they couldn't think of a solution. Even though Jesus was giving them clear instruction, they could not think of a way that they could provide for these people. Key. Now, because this thing was so unfathomable, they couldn't wrap their faith or their understanding around it or put it into the situation. They couldn't put their faith and understanding into the situation to understand what God was saying. Who is Jesus? We also are like this, so don't judge them. Now, we see this play out when they respond with, but we only have 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. And that's what they said in verse 17 of Matthew 14. Even their mouths uttered what their hearts couldn't accept or understand, because they just could not fathom providing for them. It was bigger than themselves, no matter what they could think of. There's no food around, nothing. Just the 2 fish and 5 loaves. In verse 18, Jesus responds, "Bring the bread and the fish to me." Now, this is key. Sometimes God will provide a solution in a way for us to realize on our own that we truly cannot do this on our own, like truly without a doubt. Like no matter what it looks like, whatever, there's no solution to be had. You either send people away and you just kind of backtrack outside of God's plan, because that's not what was planned for this moment. Like God ordered Jesus' stepson to be in this moment for this particular reason. And if they really had sent them away or backtracked and not listened to what the Lord had to say, you're backtracking outside of his will. But you're also leaning on your own understanding, and that does backtrack you outside of God's will and outside of his steps that he has ordered you to be in at that specific moment. And so we do this a lot. We do this all the time, where we backtrack because we don't understand. We don't put our faith into it. We don't put our understanding into it. We don't trust the Lord. And we're just like, there's no solution. I can't figure it out on my own. And we don't lean on the Lord, which is why he does it in this way sometimes, for us to understand that truly we need him, that truly he is the solution in all things. It is so simple, and yet we forget it a lot. Like, I won't say all the time, but we forget it a lot, especially if there's a lot of pressure on our back. We forget like all the things that God has done, like they have. Like they literally got to witness it in person, and they still could not fathom how they were going to be able to feed these amounts, like over 5,000 people. They couldn't fathom Jesus being in it. They couldn't fathom a solution outside of themselves. Like they saw and they couldn't do it. They're like, but God, we only have this. But Jesus, we only have this. Which is why Jesus also said, bring that to me. Bring what you have to me and watch me do a solution. Watch me solve the problem and lean on me. Watch what I can do. Lean on me. Whatever you have, bring it to me. And watch what I can do with what little you have to bring glory to his kingdom. Like watch what he can do with it. And I think that's awesome, because God really be doing that. he really does. And it's such an awesome thing. Like he truly is the answer to everything. We need him, and he is truly the answer to everything, all things. Kind of like coaching or teaching us to learn and trust in him, so that it becomes a reflex to seek him first in all situations and all things, no matter what's going on, even before making the decision. Like I do that now, where I'm like, let me go ask God first, like before I make this move, because I need to make sure I'm still aligned within his will. It's like kind of conditioning us in that way. It's a good way. But the cool thing about God is he never forces himself upon people. He gives us room to come to these conclusions on our own, through interacting with us, through just talking with us, through guiding us, leading us, forgiving us for our mistakes, and helping us get back on track. Like, so we know how he moves and who he is, and we can always be on track in that way. He's very merciful in that way. It's awesome. Because let me tell you, if he wasn't, girl or boy, I would have been, I don't even have words. I just would have been out in the desolate, out in the void, bro. If it wasn't for the Lord always forgiving me for my mess ups and putting me back on the right track, so I can learn in that way. The Bible does say God is the God of influence, and he truly is. It's always for a better, too. It's always for a better, for a growth, an understanding of him, so we can have a working knowledge of how he moves, so that next time a situation pops up, we'll always go seek him first. Like he's doing it for our greater good. And it's awesome. Who doesn't want to go to God first? Let me tell you. Because, I do not make good decisions on my own. Without him, I don't need to clarify. So, but yeah, so that's all I really have for you today. So hopefully y'all have a good Wednesday or whatever day that you're watching this. But thank you guys for joining for another God's Corner series. And I'll see ya next week, either with another God's Corner video or maybe with a vlog. I don't know what's going on, but we'll see you next week. Okay. All right. Okay. Love you. Bye.